What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today's probably gonna be a short video. We gotta bring this thing into town, get it aligned. I think we're gonna have to do more cutting on these fender flares. I've been driving around a little bit and it's definitely still rubbing. So we're gonna see what they can do with the alignment, see how much caster they can give it to bring that tire forward in the fender well. But I don't think that's gonna be enough. This driver's side tire is already pushed quite a bit more than the passenger side and it's still rubbing. So I do think we're gonna have to do more cutting on it, but let's head into town, drop it off, get it aligned, and see if that helps at all. Guys, just got back from the alignment. Turned out amazing. I'm actually very surprised how well and comfortable this thing drives. So before I tore this front end apart and redid all the shocks and control arm bushings, this thing had a lot of clunks and rattles and just drove like crap. But now, after that's all fixed with the alignment, it actually drives really nice. And we only had one little issue. One of the heater core hoses back there. You can see they're both double clamped. For some reason, on this truck and my red truck, that's the only place I've had leaks on both these trucks is those heater core lines going into the heater core. And I've had to double clamp both of them. So now it's not leaking at all. So I may replace the hoses just to be sure that there's no leaks in the future. But other than that, no oil leaks, no coolant leaks other than that one. And runs actually really nice and smooth. So the alignment definitely helped out with rubbing. It's still rubbing just a little bit on this corner, so I may do a little bit more trimming on this flare, but other than that, it's not rubbing at all anywhere else. So very happy with how the alignment turned out, and honestly very happy with how this thing drives. All right, I'm gonna get to cutting these fender flares. So I got that tape. I'm gonna cut on this side of it. Just basically cut that corner off and kind of wrap it back around back up. So I think that'll give me enough clearance. I want to cut as little as possible off these, because if I start coming up too high, I think it'll just look funny. So I'm gonna cut that there, we'll try it out, and I think that'll give us plenty of clearance. You can see right now I only have about a 1/4 inch, and even just going in and out of parking lots, you get a little bit of flex, and it starts rubbing. So let's trim that and see if that'll help. There we go. Now we have about 1 inch of clearance. So that definitely should work. And good news is it doesn't look as bad as I thought it would. I thought it was gonna be kind of chopped up looking, but actually looks pretty good. So I'm happy with that. If I have any more rubbing issues, I'll probably trim a little bit more, but I think that should probably do the job. All right, another thing I picked up is a set of floor mats. So these are the WeatherTech kind of cut yourself floor mats. I didn't want to spend the $150 or whatever for the preformed floor mats, although those floor mats are unbeatable. But these were 30 bucks. I picked these up at Costco. I'm gonna go on Amazon, see if I can locate these identical mats on Amazon. But they are very high quality, very nice material, rubber, and we're gonna see if we can make these fit. So these are actually for the red Toyota. I'll probably buy a set for the green truck if these things fit like they should. So, and they also have that little, they call it a tech grip. It's like a little plate with a bunch of little spikes on it that kind of grip into the carpet. So that'll keep the driver's side floor mat in place. So I imagine I'm gonna have to cut around for my fuel pedal on the red truck because I already had to trim the carpet, and this, you can see, is probably, I don't know, 3/8 thick. So I'll probably have to trim around where the throttle goes and maybe a couple other places, but let's throw them in there and see how close they are. So you can see I did buy a little cheap set of worthless mats. These were like 10 bucks at Fred Meyer, I think. Those I'm not going to use. They don't stay in place at all, and they don't even cover half the carpet. So let's see if this thing will fit. Wow, that actually fits pretty nice. Looks like I'll have to trim just these 3 little points off here. And then you can see my throttle is gonna hit there. So I'm gonna trim maybe 2 of these off here, maybe one, maybe I'll start with one little square, cut that off, cut these out. And other than that, they do really fit pretty good. Well, there it is. Looks like it fits about perfect, honestly. You can see it clears up here for that little footrest. One thing I might do is just cut that little piece off there because it kind of looks funny, but throttle is clearing no problem. So I'm gonna trim that piece off, and then we'll get these little spike deals on here just to keep this in place. You don't want it bunched up underneath your brake or your clutch or anything. So we'll get those in, and then the other one should fit no problem without any trimming. Well, there we go, guys. You can see those things actually do work very well. This floor mat is not moving with those little spike deals in there, so happy with that. Fits amazing. Let's get the other 3 in and see how those fit. Well, that fits really nice. It's almost like these things are made for this truck. There we go. Rears fit like a glove. Passenger side fits like a glove. Definitely a very good fit for these. I actually have another set. These are for the 4Runner, but the part number, you can see there, 1240931. I actually just pulled them up on Amazon real quick, so here they are. I'll have these linked down below too, but they are a little more expensive. They're 58 bucks on Amazon. I paid 30 bucks for a set of these with fronts and rears. These are 30 bucks a piece at Costco, so a lot cheaper at Costco. But if you don't have a Costco local, I guess you could order them on Amazon, and still a lot cheaper than the formed floor mats. And honestly, they fit so well. I don't even think I would waste the extra money on getting the formed kit. You know, while we're on the subject of floor mats, let's go grab the 4Runner and see how these things fit in the 4Runner. By the way, guys, a little update on the 4-wheel drive. It is working flawless. Not a single issue anymore with engaging or disengaging. So here's what we're working with now. These are junk. Not too bad, not too bad. It's kind of up on this. This one has kind of a covered footrest deal here. Kind of up on top of that, but I don't think that's really gonna matter. I think I'm gonna trim, definitely trim right here for the throttle again. So this one's probably gonna need both of those little squares trimmed off. But other than that, looks like it fits pretty good. After a little bit of messing around with it, I think I'm gonna trim this side, just one section of this whole side off to bring the whole mat over. And it really fits the line up here a lot better. There we go, guys. Fit pretty good. Let's get the spikes on, and then let's throw the passengers and the rears in. Oh, there we go. Passengers fits really good. It could be trimmed a little bit, but I think I'm gonna leave that kind of ramped up along here because it'll help keep the water from kind of spilling over, I suppose. Or I'm just being lazy and don't want to trim it, but it actually fits pretty good as is. So I think I'll leave that. Show you another look at the rears. They fit really nice. So they do fit the 3rd gen 4Runners like a champ too. And I need your guys' help real quick. So if you remember when I built these headlights a couple of videos ago with the shroud lights, when I turn them on, the passenger side would come on a lot faster than the driver's side. And those are wired into the side marker lights, which blink when you lock and unlock it. And watch, when I unlock and lock, this driver's side or passenger side gets a little flash, whereas the driver's side doesn't. I really don't know what to look at and why this one is faster than that one, unless it is a controller for these lights in here, the little box that we wired in. If it's that, I really don't care to swap that out, but if it's something to do with wiring, I could probably fix it. But let me know if you have any ideas. One more shot, I'll show you. You can just see it just barely flash on the passenger side, and the driver's side doesn't flash at all. All right, guys, got a little update for you. So I've been driving it, putting a few miles on the truck. We have no more rubbing at all, so very happy about that. That one heater hose that was leaking, I double clamped it. It's still leaking, so I'm gonna pull that off. We're gonna run to the parts store, get a new hose, new clamps, and put that back on. Hopefully we can fix that leak. Also, one other issue, we're having a hot start issue. So if I run the truck, get it completely warmed up, and park it, let it sit for like 10-15 minutes, I go to restart it, it's like, acts like it's flooded out. So I'm pretty sure it's the injectors leaking, or at least one injector leaking back into the intake manifold when the truck is off, and that's essentially flooding the motor. And then if you wait long enough, the fuel basically all evaporates from the system where it was leaking and the manifold and everything, and then it starts like normal. So I think I'm gonna have to do injectors. You guys already know I replaced 3 injectors already, but they were used, and it did make a huge difference. It runs so much better after I swapped those injectors out, but I think we still have one that's leaking. So we're gonna have to figure out what to do with that. I'll probably order some up, or I may have to pull these ones out and send them in to get refurbished and rebuilt. Haven't decided. I gotta call a couple companies and see what they recommend, but either way, that's on the list of things to do. We're not gonna be doing that right now. So let's get this heater hose pulled off, get a new one on there, see if we can fix that leak. All right, we got that one hose replaced. So that was the one that was leaking, that little short 90 from the valve to the heater core. The other one hasn't leaked at all since I double clamped it. So I think I'm gonna leave that for now. That should fix our leak. That hose was a lot smaller diameter. Obviously the factory hose from 1990 is probably a little worn out. So that should fix our leak. So circling back to the injector problem, I still need to kind of go around and figure out if that is 100% the issue with the truck restarting. I know it's a very common problem on these for those injectors to leak internally and cause restart problems. So I talked to a shop called Motor West Performance. They do a lot of injectors. They even rebuild injectors, and they were like 20 bucks to completely rebuild each injector. So pretty cheap, and I've heard very good things about them. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. So here within the next couple days, I think I'm gonna pull the intake manifold off, get these injectors sent out to them. And even if the injectors aren't the problem right now, I might as well have them rebuilt, because these injectors seem to kind of go out and start giving you issues around 175 to 200,000 miles, and I think this motor is at like 180, so getting right in that area of needing work anyway, so I might as well have them rebuilt, and then we won't have to worry about it at all. So definitely stay tuned for that video. So I'm gonna wrap this one up right here, guys. Really hope you enjoyed it. Go smash that thumbs up button, comment, subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.